So today, Carla, I'm doing one of my all-time favorite dishes, Eggs Benedict. There's a lot of anxiety or trepidation about making Eggs Benedict because it involves, number one, making Hollandaise sauce, and the traditional way to make Hollandaise is with a double boiler and lots of whisking and things like that. I'm going to show you an easy way to do that. The other part is actually poaching an egg, and that can involve, there's many different ways to poach an egg. Usually involves a pot of boiling water and swirling the eggs around and hoping the egg white comes together in a nice even mound. Mine never does. So I'm going to show you the easy way to fix that too. So these are really delicious. Like I said, my favorite thing to eat. If someone really wanted to impress me, they would make me Eggs Benedict for breakfast. So I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Here's the ingredients we're going to need for the Eggs Benedict. We're going to need a couple of sticks of butter for the Hollandaise sauce. We're going to need some freshly squeezed lemon juice. We're going to need some eggs. We need 3 egg yolks for the Hollandaise sauce, and then 2 eggs per person that you're serving. You need some Canadian bacon, some English muffins, a little bit of cayenne pepper, and some salt. That's it. That's all that's involved. So not that difficult in terms of ingredients. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make the Hollandaise sauce. So we're going to start it on that right now. So the easiest way to make Hollandaise sauce is to use a blender. The old-fashioned way is to use a double boiler where you have a pot of boiling water. You put another pot or another bowl on top of it. The boiling water, you whip the egg yolks constantly as you slowly add in the other ingredients, and this goes on for a long time. I'm doing the lazy way. I'm going to do it in the blender. So I'm going to start off with my 3 egg yolks. These are going into the blender. Then we're going to whisk these around a little bit. So they're nice and mixed. Then to this, we're going to add a half teaspoon of salt, a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice, a little pinch of cayenne pepper, like that. The cayenne pepper is optional if you're really adverse to it. You don't have to use it. It's not going to make it spicy hot, so don't worry about that. So put the lid back on, and in the measuring cup, I now have 1½ sticks of melted butter that I melted very slowly and gently in a little saucepan. You do not want to bring it to a boil. You just want to melt it over low heat. So what we're going to do is we're going to start blending this. Slowly add the butter. And that's it. And you can hear the sound change as this whisked up into a sauce. If you add the butter too quickly, what's going to happen is you're going to wind up with a big soupy mess, and it's not going to be like Hollandaise, and you have to throw the whole thing out and start over. So I'm going to pour this into a container, and I'm going to put it in a sink full of warm water to keep it warm while we move on to the next items. This makes a really thick sauce, by the way, but it's nice and creamy. Probably need a spoon to get the rest of this out of here. Use this one. And the Hollandaise sauce is done. Next up, we're going to work on the rest of the eggs Benedict, the English muffins, the poached eggs, and the Canadian bacon. Okay, with the English muffins, we want to split these, and don't use a knife to cut an English muffin because it'll leave a smooth surface. And what you want to do, take a big fork, just kind of go around it on all sides. And this way, when it opens up, it'll have all the nice little nooks and valleys and crags and all that make for a really good English muffin. Then we're going to toast these. Like such. So, one English muffin per person that you're cooking for. And since I'm cooking for me and my beloved, I'm doing 2 English muffins. So when we do the other one, we're going to put those in the toaster, and then we'll move on with the eggs. Okay, my English muffins are toasted, and I put the Canadian bacon in a small skillet and just heat it up gently just to get a little bit of color on it. You can either put 2 slices or 1 slice per each. I'm giving myself 2 slices on each one. My beloved's only getting 1 slice per, because I said so. So the final part to cooking all this is going to be poaching the eggs. And that's another thing that can cause a lot of anxiety, because there's different ways to poach an egg. You want them perfectly poached. You can do the swirling water vortex method with boiling water, and you stir it up and drop the egg in and hope it forms into a nice pretty little thing like that. It's kind of hit or miss with me. Every time I try that, the egg white goes off in all different directions and looks like a giant space amoeba from some 1950s horror film or something. Here's the easy way to do it. You need some cling film, saran wrap, plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it. Get you a nice square right there. Put a little bit of oil in the middle. I'm just using some olive oil because I happen to have some right there. That is way too much. So let me wipe some of that out. Actually, I'll just use this to spread it around. You just want to spread a little bit of oil all over the plastic wrap. Like that. Then, using a small bowl or a small glass or a little ramekin or something like that, we're going to just lay this over the middle and press it down to make a well. And then we're going to crack the egg and put it in here. Stuff's being very clingy. No. Stay. Also sticky. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to take my egg and just put it into a container like that. Wipe my oily fingers off. Then you just gather up your edges. So I need a little packet like that. Squeeze out the excess air. And we're going to tie a knot in it. Okay, there we have our egg like that. This way you don't have to worry about the egg white going off in all different directions. It's all self-contained. So I'm going to do that for each of the eggs that we do, and then we're going to poach them in the water. So we'll get those ready, and we'll be right back with the rest. Okay, my pot of water, I've got this up to a low simmer, and what I did is you bring it up to a boil. I got several inches here. Bring it up to a boil, and then reduce the heat. So we still got some bubbles coming up. And then we're just going to take the eggs and drop them in. And these are going to go for about 3.5 to 4 minutes if you like your yolks runny. If you like your yolks more firm, cook them longer. But for this, I like them a little bit on the runny side. So about 4 minutes, and then we're going to take them out and put all this stuff together. Okay, the eggs are done. So I've taken them out of the pot now. These things are a little hot. Just take some scissors or a knife and kind of snip off the knot. And you can open this up. And that is hot. And then just put this on top of your English muffin like that. Again, if you like a firmer yolk, cook it a little bit longer. That's mine. Then the last two. And there we go. The only thing left to do now, I'm going to season the eggs with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm going to grab the Hollandaise sauce, which I've had sitting in the warm water. And as it cools off, it does thicken up a little bit, and that's fine. Hollandaise sauce does that. All you need to do is add a little bit more lemon juice to it. And stir that in. And it becomes nice and creamy again. And all that's left, spoon this over top of our eggs. And we're all done. So, there you have it, Carla. Eggs Benedict. Make these for yourself. Make them for someone you love. Hey, Pauline. Breakfast is ready.